So this video presentation will be the Isshin Ryu Kinon, or basics, the 15 upper body and 15 lower body exercise developed by Tatsuo Shimabuku and his students early on during Isshin's training. It's important to keep in mind that the basics are a modern thing. They came after the kata. The kata was first, then the basics. The basics were developed so that you could train large groups of people at the same time. So keep in mind, the basics are very important, but the kata is always more important. So you'll see on this video presentation some of the things I do and don't do. So I'm not stacking my hands on every basic. Many times I just come right in. It's fine for beginners when you're initially teaching to do this, but later on, the ability level has to change. So, low ability level, 1, 2, 3. Next level, right in, punch. Higher level, right from your hands, this comes right in punch. But again, you have to work through these levels. If a beginner tries going right into that last level, they will never ever achieve the ability. So it has to be step by step. You'll also notice in the 14th basic, I do two versions. The parry is a later addition. The original basic was done with no parry. Master Kichiro Shimabuku still does it that way. So like I said, the basics come from the kata. So people often ask, well, where is the 14th basic? That's not found in any of the kata. In Wansu kata, where we do this move and we do 2 straight punches, originally Tatsuo Sensei taught that this way. That was where the 14th basic came from. Later on, it was changed to the straight punches. So again, you can practice it either way. But again, I wouldn't practice either way until after black belt. Basic way, when you teach beginners, then as people go up, you want to try to elevate their skill level, then you start showing them a harder way to do the basics. So same thing, in basics like number 10, we come and we block, back fist, punch. Eventually, the skill has to elevate, one move. So eventually, very quickly, it's all done in one move. But again, in the beginning, for beginners, 1, 2, 3. Watch the distance on your head blocks. Don't bring your head blocks up like this. Make sure they come out to meet the attack. All the blocks have to come out to meet the attack. They shouldn't be too close to your body. Level, here, not here. So it has to go out. The blocks have to go out and meet the attacking kick or punch. So in the basics, we practice some stepping forward, some stepping back. This is the traditional way. My own opinion is I prefer to practice all the basics moving forward. I never like to practice retreating with an opponent. I always like to practice moving in, but you can practice in the traditional way and you can practicing sometimes all moving in. How you do them, you can do both sides to 1 count. So if the instructor says each, they can do 1, 2 if you want. Some teachers like to do each. Knee, that's acceptable also. On a previous video I mentioned, make sure on the punches, keeping your elbow in and pointed down. Don't let the elbow. So some of the things with the basics, fist width from here, okay? Level, fist level with the shoulder, all right? Here, basically same thing, all right? When you're doing it, okay? Again, they're the basics, but doing the same basics the same way every night in class, frankly, can get a little boring. So mix them up. One of the things I do in classes, I take the first basic and I pair it with the first kick. So it's a combination technique. Straight punch, front kick. Then I take the second basic and I do the second kick. And then when I get, there's less kicks, so when I get halfway through the basics, I go back to the front kick again. Okay? On your kicks, keep in mind, for training, focus to the solar plexus. Too many people in Isshin Ryu do these short little kicks. It's the same as I explained in the punch video. Your arm has to be out. When you kick, your leg has to go out. It's not these little kicks. So extend the kick, solar plexus height, especially when you're practicing by yourself, kata and the Kinon, the basics. If you're young, it's not a bad thing to sometime practicing kicking head height. Very good exercise for the legs, stretching. However, in combat, we always kick low. Kicks are not high in Isshin Ryu, we kick low. But for exercise, there's nothing wrong with kicking high. So on all the kicks, you want to bring the knee up. So I see many people kicking like this, where they start the foot going forward with the knee. You want to bring the knee up. The knee is your sight. So whatever the knee is pointing at, that's where your kick's going to go. So the knee comes up. As the knee comes up, then the foot goes out. Side kick, knee comes up. Front kick, blade edge of the foot, knee comes up. So the knee is always coming up. Back kick, knee comes up, then goes. So this is very important to bring the knee in tight and then let the kick go.